Okay, we are recording. Hi, guys. I'm so excited. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Rachel Dodge, and I am a double diamond here. And we have today Stephanie Tupper. I'm so excited. We just met. This is how incredible this business is, okay? This is really this is why we call it manifesting, because I was manifesting this individual, this accountability partner, like into my life, and we just clicked. It was just, it's crazy how that can happen in your business. So, I'm super excited for her to come on. We're going to share, our stories, because obviously they're very different. We're going to be real raw with you. It's not just about our stories. We are going to get down to the nitty gritty and tell you, about ups and downs, and just knowing that, you guys, this business is not always going to be sunshine and rainbows, but it's an incredible journey. And I promise you, if you just keep pushing through, you're just going to love it. So without further ado, I'm going to give the floor over to Stephanie. So, hey, let's unmute you. There you go.
Hey guys, so my name is Stephanie Tupper and I am a double diamond with It Works Global. I have been in for almost 6 years, and oh my gosh, I guess I'll try to give like the quicker version of my story. But when It Works came into my life, because I was not searching for it, I was still in college. It was my senior year. About 3 months before, my dad had been diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is a form of cancer. That's actually the same cancer that our CEO had. But he was diagnosed with that. I was working at a dance studio while I was going to college, and our studio manager had a wrap party, or a sip and sample. And I remember he texted me about it, and I was very unsure of what he meant. Like, I thought when he said wrap party that it was going to be sandwiches. And I was very confused of why we were having a sandwich party in a gym, like on our dance floor, which you're not even supposed to wear street shoes in. But I was like, dang, man. And then he was like, yeah, it's $25 to wrap. And I was just like, this lettuce better be made out of gold, bro. Like, what do you mean? And he was like, no, it's not a sandwich. But long story short, I did not go to the first sip and sample. He had told me he was going to do 2 Saturdays in a row. And the first Saturday, I just straight up didn't go. I was one of those people who was like, I'm not wasting $25 for something that like probably doesn't work. I had it in my head. I was young too. Like, I just didn't have a brain cell for that kind of thing. Like, something that you put on your body and it tightens and tones and firms in 45 minutes. Like, I could not understand how that could be possible. So I didn't go. And the next morning, on Sunday, I taught Zumba in the morning, and all these women that were at the party the night before came in with their phones, and they were sharing their before and after pictures with each other, from just like when they left the party and had their after picture to that morning and they had their after pictures again. So they were like freaking out, showing each other, showing me, and I was like, FOMO, like, oh my God, I missed out on something so huge. Like, so I'm like texting my manager, and I'm just like, can I come to the next one? Are you? Is it this Saturday? What do I know? And I saw all the products set up on the table, and I just remember thinking, why am I so like excited about this? Like, I'd never heard of network marketing or anything like this. And I just was like, why am I so interested in this? This is my senior year. Like, I need to just focus on school. But I was so interested. I tried a bunch of things. At this point, we did not have berry greens. We only had orange. We didn't have hair, skin, nails. We didn't have any of the keto stuff. Like, we didn't have like all the cool stuff that we have now, but I was still so intrigued by everything that I saw. I was a little too afraid to join the business, but I was like curious about it. Like, there was a little question and answer segment after at the end. And I stayed and I listened and I wasn't asking. And I just got so nervous and I ended up becoming a customer instead of being a distributor. So I was a customer for 4 months in a row. I graduated from college and then I moved to New York City, which is not cheap. And I just remember months passed and I was so broke and I was not prepared for it. Like nobody teaches you how to balance your checkbook anymore in like high school and stuff like that. And I didn't take classes in college for that. I went to school for dance. So here I am in the real world, totally broke and unprepared for what that would do to like my mental state and how much I was working. Like I worked 60 plus hours a week at a job that just, I was a drone. I was a Rite Aid shift supervisor. I walked 15 minutes to work and 15 minutes back. I never saw my roommates because we were on opposite schedules. I was always hours. It would be like 2 to 12 a.m. and it was just the worst. I would go home and like watch a little bit of Netflix on my phone, eat something and go to sleep, wake up in the morning and do it all over again. And I was like 23 at the time. And I just remember thinking, this can't be what it's like to be an adult. Like my life can't be like this because if it is going to continue this way, I don't want it. Like my mind got real dark, real fast. And I knew it wasn't healthy the way that I was living. And I knew I couldn't get another 9 to 5 because how? Like, how? I'm not a time traveler. There's no way. I was already exhausted. I never saw my family. I didn't have time for my friends. I lived in New York City and never experienced it unless it was through the windows of the subway when we went above ground. Like, I didn't get to do anything. There are so many shows and restaurants and like really cool things to do. I never did any of that stuff when I actually lived there. And it was depressing. So one day I woke up and so it was 9 months after that first party that I went to. And one of the women who was at the same party, I taught her Zumba. She signed up. And I watched her on social media for 9 months. She earned the $10,000 bonus for herself and for her husband. And then she earned a $15,000 bonus for herself and for her husband. And I watched her pay for an addition on her house in cash. And like she built her house. I remember when she was building it at the beginning of me being a Zumba instructor. And the first things out of this girl's mouth were that she was so pissed at how expensive it cost to build her home. And here she was adding to it and paying for it in cash. So it was like my eyes opened. She was from a small town like I was. And I always knew like deep down, like she's from a small town. I'm from a small town. She knows totally different people than I know. Like, I know I could do this. Like deep down, I knew I could and I wanted to. So one morning I woke up because I was sick of my life and I messaged her. You guys, I never liked any of her posts. I didn't talk to her about it. I didn't message her. I just watched her for 9 months. And then I messaged her and finally was like, hey, do you think I could be good at this? And she was like, you are a dance instructor. Like you stand up in front of strangers and shake your ass. like you do Zumba for people that you don't know. Like, yes, you could do amazing at this. Like, of course. So I was like, okay, cool. And I had to borrow the $99 from someone to get started because I was so broke. Like I didn't have anything. So I did that and I joined. But my first 2.5 months, I didn't post about it. I didn't really talk about it. My parents had told me like not to join. So I was just a little nervous that I was going to disappoint them. So I kept it a secret. Like my mom always finds everything out. She's a hairdresser. Those ladies always find out everything. I knew she would hear it through the grapevine. Because when I went to that first sip and sample party, I was so pumped up and I went home and talked to my parents and they were like, oh, like, probably shouldn't do that. It'll probably take so much time. You'll have to spend all this money. And they didn't know, they were just trying to like protect me or whatever. And they were just trying to do the best that they could. But I took what they said to heart. So it took me until 2.5 months into actually like being in the business and like having not done anything that I finally decided I needed to just call my mom and like tell her because there was I just had to do that in order to start. So I called my mom and I was like, listen, I did something and I'm just really nervous that you're going to be disappointed in me. So I need to just get it off my chest. She probably thought I like murdered someone or something. She was like, what did you do? And I just told her I joined that company that I was telling you about 9 months ago. I joined It Works. I borrowed $99 from someone and I joined. But I've been so afraid to get started and like to do anything because I don't want you and dad to be mad at me, you know? And I was like, but I have to try. I've wondered what if for 9 months and it's killing me. Like, I just want to know for myself and I want to try and I am excited to try, but I just needed to like tell you. And she was just like, you seem so excited. I absolutely am excited for you that you seem so like you haven't acted like this in a really long time. Like just hearing it in your voice, I haven't heard you seem so excited or like interested in life happening to you in so long. So of course I'm excited for you and I support you. And after that, I hit the ground running. I started contacting all my friends. I texted them, I messaged them on Facebook and was like, hey, I haven't talked to you on the phone in forever. Like, when are you free? And I talked to them on the phone. And I was just like, how are you? What's going on? Like, how's your life? And they told me. And then when they asked me how I was, I had something to say. And it just started like that. I was like, oh my gosh, I joined this really cool health and wellness company. I actually think you'd like it. And they were always like, oh my gosh, tell me more. So if you're nervous to talk to people about this business, like, don't just let yourself be excited because there's nothing more genuine than that emotion and that excitement. But yeah, like I'll speed things up a bit. So once I started working, that was mid-January of, I think like 2014. So I joined in October of 2013, but I didn't do a damn thing until January 2014. So from mid-January until March, like the end of March, I ended up promoting to Ruby and Emerald in that same month. Like I went Emerald so fast, my sponsor didn't even really catch it. So I never ended up getting shouted out for Emerald, and I joke with her about it all the time. And she's like, it must really still be bothering you because you always joke about it. And I'm like, no, it really doesn't bother me. Like, I just think it's funny that I noticed it in my back office and I was like, why does it say that? But I was so nervous to ask, like, I don't know, it was weird. And then a year later, almost to the date, so March of 2015, I promoted to Diamond. And you guys, when I joined, there was a Diamond bonus for $10,000. I didn't earn it. There was a $120 shopping spree for your first loyal customers. Didn't get it. Like, I did not earn the shopping spree. And that's okay. Like, I'm still here, you know? Like, I've still done really cool things with my business. So don't worry. Like, don't sleep on yourself. Like, if you didn't get the $100 shopping spree, it's not a big deal. Like, you can still be successful. If you didn't earn a $10,000 bonus, it's okay. Like, don't worry. Because what I'm going to tell you, I'm so happy that I didn't end up going Diamond then, because when I went, the bonus was doubled. So it was $20,000 instead of $10,000. So I, like, looking back, I'm like, that's why. Like, everything happens for a reason. And then a year later, so March of 2016, I've only ever promoted in the month of March, ever. I went double Diamond. And again, like, okay, so a couple girls like on my downline hit Diamond before I did. And then I was like 2 months behind. So you can surpass your sponsor. You can surpass your upline. Like, you really can. It's possible. And it's okay. It's cool. Like, I remember when it happened, I was so excited that like other people hit it before me. I'm like, wow, this company's awesome. But it was a different story when like 3 months after I went Diamond, a couple people went double. And it like didn't happen for me. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, what is going on? Like, I don't understand this. Well, a year later after going Diamond, I did go double. And the bonus is usually $15,000. It was doubled to 30, and that's the bonus that I earned. So like, God has a very funny sense of humor, the universe, whatever. Like, Yeah, if I'm echoing, I'm sorry, y'all. It might be like my internet connection or something, but sorry, squirrel. But yeah, everything happens for a reason. So, okay, so that's my story. And you guys, like, sometimes we go through struggles and we have to learn different things. So when I went diamond, I spent an entire diamond, like, by being ignorance on fire. Like, I was learning and I was doing things. I was learning how to post. I was learning how to be consistent. I was learning how to, like, be a leader and do things. So, like, that first year of, like, starting and then going diamond, it was a lot of that, just excitement, learning that there are different ways to post, trying new things, trying parties in person, trying online parties. Like, it was the year of trial. Like, I tried everything. Then when I went diamond, so from the year from diamond to double, that was all about personal development and growth and learning about manifestation, which is what this Zoom is all about. So now I'm going to get to, like, the meat of what this Zoom is supposed to be all about. So I first learned about reading, and you guys, I was that person that my sponsor was like, oh, you should be readers. And I remember thinking, like, isn't that a waste of time? Like, is that going to help me sign loyal customers and distributors and, like, build my team? Like, is that really, I just didn't understand how that would help. It helps so much. It helps to grow your mind and it helps to grow your business as a result. And you grow as a person. Like, you'll start to understand yourself. You'll start to heal from things that you did not know you needed to heal from. You will begin to forgive yourself and to forgive other people for things you didn't even know bothered you. You'll grow into a better sister, a better sibling, friend, daughter, all of that stuff, simply by growing your mind and reading. It's not total trash. It's not a waste of time. It's real. Like, every single leader in this company will tell you to read. If you don't like to physically read with your eyes, Audible is a brilliant thing. Like, technology, hey. But it's awesome in the car, when you're showering, when you're putting your makeup on, all that fun stuff. The Secret on Netflix, I remember I got into that, and I just, because of reading these different books, getting on YouTube, watching other training videos like these Zooms and things like that, I got on the corporate calls on Sunday night, the Show Me the Money call on Monday. Y'all, it did not used to be live broadcast on Facebook. You had to call a number and listen. You couldn't see what anybody's faces looked like. Like, I'd be picturing Stephanie Dunn as a blonde. She's not. So, yeah, like, that just kind of, like, dates me to how old I am in the company, but which is crazy. But yeah, like, so I learned about manifesting by watching The Secret. And you're either going to be someone who's like, yeah, manifesting, like, it's awesome. You either get it right away, or you think it's the weirdest, like, weird thing ever. And it's so valuable. So basically, the overall basis of The Secret, it's a movie, it's a book, whatever, but it's that your thoughts become things. So imagine this. Imagine you wake up in the morning and you stub your toe, right? There's two outcomes to that. You can either A, like, complain about it and let your day completely spiral, and then the next thing goes wrong, the next thing goes wrong, your car breaks down, you have an altercation at work, like, something goes wrong in your family, like, your whole day spirals. Or you can be the person who stubs their toe first thing in the morning and you laugh at yourself and you're like, oh my gosh, well, okay. Walk much. Like, you have to kind of learn to just laugh at those things. When you learn how to shift your focus and shift your energy and to shift your thoughts to, like, whatever, like, it's okay. Like, did I die? No, it's going to be fine. And that's The Secret. Like, in a nutshell, it's all about training your brain. And it is uncomfortable at first, because it's going to feel so weird to be hyper aware of your thoughts. And in the beginning, it might be like, Oh my God, like I think all day long, like it never stops. Everything's in my head all the time. But what you learn is when you have a negative thought, you'll learn how to shut it down. So anytime I have a thought where I'm just like, oh, I look pudgy today. And like, this is still something, like I'm 28 years old. This is still something that I am working through and having to deal with. But I now know to stop and be like, no, I'm freaking beautiful. I'm gorgeous. I'm a whole meal. Like, I'm not a snack, baby. I am a meal. But you have to learn to kind of shut your thoughts down like that. So if you wake up and you're just like, no one's going to want to join my team. Hell no. No, absolutely not. Like, I am a bomb leader. Like, this is the best team ever. I'm growing so much and so fast. Like, so many people are going to want to join me this month. It's insane. Like, I'm going to be able to keep up, but it's going to be crazy to keep up with how many people want to join me. And when you learn to just like stop and turn it around, at first it feels really weird to like say stuff like that. Like, no, I'm on fire. Like, you might not even have a loyal customer yet, but like, I am on fire. Everyone is talking to me today. Like, this is crazy. And I literally manifested that yesterday. And I've had like 7 people message me today because yesterday I was like, no, I have so many people wanting to talk to me. It's insane. And then I did the action. I was talking to people, sending messages. I was interacting with other people, and I was just happy and excited. And like, when you are just genuinely excited and grateful for the life that you have, and you start thinking positively, amazing things come your way. So yeah, let me see. So I do have some tips for manifesting. Number 1, the easiest way to begin this is to journal. And not just journaling like, dear diary, today, like my boyfriend bought me a flower. No, like you're manifesting and you're journaling to your future self. So to me, I write to God. That just is what like vibes with me. But for you, if it's the universe or whatever, like you can write to whoever you want. Like if you want to write to your future self, you can do that too. That's the beauty of manifesting. It's whatever you want to create it as. But for me, I journal to God and I thank him for things before I receive them. But if you start with gratitude and you just start, it just needs to be a page, like a small little journal that you can get from the dollar store. And you can start out by saying, dear universe or dear God, thank you so much for this incredible day that I'm about to have. So many people are interacting with me and they are asking me questions about my favorite products. This makes me so happy to talk about. Thank you for sending those people to me. I really feel like I'm going to be helpful and I'm going to make a difference in their lives. Thank you so much. Like, I'm just saying thank you over more and more specific. But that's a really great way to start out and to figure out what you want. So maybe you want to be a mass enroller and or maybe you just want to cut the steps to freaking success and you just want to sign 4 or an 8 and then your next goal is 15 and then 20 and 60 and all of that. It just starts with being thankful for the customer before you've even met them. So journaling, having gratitude in there, but you're journaling for the future. And then the next thing is get specific. Like once you start with that, then you can have a blast with it and you can get super specific. Like, thank you for all of my loyal customers this month. All of their orders were so high in BV. It was amazing. Everyone's order was 90 BV or higher. Thank you so much. Like, I'm finding people who are serious about their goals and they trust that, y'all. And here's where it gets really cool. You can be specific about the type of distributors you want to bring in on your team. So you can start saying like, thank you so much for the team members that I am signing this month. They are all resourceful. They are all signing their own customers. They're so coachable. They are so excited to learn from me. And we have a blast when we get on Zooms. Like, you can be that specific. Like, God, the universe, whatever it is to you, wants to give you everything that you want and that you desire. But the thing is, if your thoughts are the negative stuff, it can't determine whether you want it or not. It just knows, or God just knows, the universe just knows that you have that in your head. And what you're really saying is you don't want, but you're fixing that order that's going to fruit. So if it's not good, if it's not negative, if you're thinking like, people keep not wanting to order after 3 months, this person did this, I had a ruby leg on my team, quit. Like, if you're constantly thinking about those things, that is what's going to keep reoccurring. So it's tough. Like, you have to train your brain to think of the bigger picture and the things that you truly want. And a way to keep you sharp, like to keep your mind sharp, besides reading and like listening to podcasts, getting on Zooms like these and listening to other leaders and sidelines and things like that, doing power hours with your team. Besides all of that, for me to sharpen that state of mind is by rewatching The Secret on Netflix. I've watched that. I cannot tell you how many times. And then there's also something, it's on YouTube. It's called Time You Hear It. I will not lie. It was like recorded in the 50s, I think. Like, it's very scary, but the content is very good. It's very, very good. It is a 30-minute video. I literally used to listen to that like the entirety of getting ready. So sometimes I listen to it 3 times in a row. If it took me an hour and a half to get ready, I listened to that thing 3 times in a row. But it's very powerful, and there's actually like a guided template for you at the end that he goes over for you to write things out. So yeah, those 2 things, like if you listen to them, it will remind you of The Secret. It will remind you of your thoughts being really important. And you guys, this is a muscle. You're never going to master it. Like, that's why it's a muscle. If you stop sharpening your tool, as Ashley Mayfield says all the time, if you stop sharpening your tool, it's not going to work as well, right? So this is something we always have to be working on. And you're going to have bad days, and that's okay. You have to love yourself through those hard times and through those bad times. There are definitely days where I'm like, crap, I have a Zoom tonight. I don't really want to get on it, but I get on it anyways, because I know the second I'm on it, I forget that I've quote unquote said I didn't want to get on it earlier. And I'm always like, why did I even say that? Like, I love doing this. I want to be here. Why did I ever think that was wrong? So you just have to push yourself and have that discipline to push past the hard times and the bad times. I'll leave you with one more thing. It's an exercise for you to think about. So with your business, with manifesting, if you do not know your goals, you don't know what you're working for. You know what I mean? It's just like a ship. Why would you ever get on a cruise ship where the captain has no clue where he's going to go? Like, you don't know where you're going to end up. You could have all of your bathing suits and bikinis, and you're going to end up in the middle of the freaking North Atlantic and in the middle of an iceberg field, you know? Like, he could just decide to end up there, and you didn't pack properly. So you have to make sure that you know your goals and you know where you are driving your ship, because why would someone want to get on your ship with you if you don't even know where you're going? Like, you have to know what you want and why you want it. Like, how will it make you feel? You really have to get in touch with like your feelings. So I suggest writing out your goals a year from now, a year from today, and then do it for like 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And let me tell you something, a lot of us tend to underestimate what we can do in 1 year, and we overestimate what we can do in 10 years, if that makes sense. Or maybe I have that backwards. I just think people underestimate how much you can get done in 1 year. And sometimes people don't dream big enough for that 10-year goal either. Or like, you'll say things like, I'm going to be a billionaire in 10 years, but like, you don't think you can get to diamond in 1 year. You know what I mean? Those don't really correlate. Like the 10-year one, because you have this assumption that like 10 years is a long time. Well, a year is way longer than like you could get to like triple or presidential in a year if you really like put your mind to it. So have your goals be big. But if it's a money goal, like if you want $5,000 by the end of the year, yo, that's super doable, incredibly doable. Or if you want the rank, whatever it is to you, if you're like, I really want to earn $10,000 in a year, write that as your goal. If you want triple diamond in a year, write that as your goal. But then you also have to ask yourself, what would that take for me to get there? How many books would I have to read? How many people would I have to talk to? What does a triple diamond do? How would I have to work in order to match the energy level of a triple diamond? Like, you can't just say like, I want to be triple in a year, and then just like, oh, like I wish to be, like, it doesn't work that way. Like, you have to apply some sort of action to that as well. So write out those goals for yourself. What does that look like? And you guys, like, it can be, if you want a new car, it can be something like that, to go on a family vacation, to find the perfect pair of pajamas. Pam Souter literally did that. That was on her vision board one year. The perfect pair of like cheetah print pajamas, and Homegirl got them like 2 years ago. I remember seeing that. It can be simple, it can be huge, but whatever is important to you, you have to know what those goals are and think of how it will feel when you accomplish that. And then you have to have a plan. You have to have something that you show up for every single day and you're disciplined. So if your goal is to be triple diamond, but you're not even posting consistently right now, that just has to change. But the cool thing is you are in 100% control of that. And you have the ability to change that like now, immediately, right now, today. You have the ability to be consistent. If your goal is triple diamond by the end of the year and you are a distributor, like, hell yeah, you can do it. But you have to start asking like the right questions. Okay, cool. So like that means posting consistently, talking to people every single day, sharing your story and your journey. That might mean going live so more people can hear your voice and build that trust with you. It might look like asking people if they want to have a sip and sample party. It's going to look like doing things that are scary to you. Sometimes it's scary to do something for the first time, but when you do the scary thing, it always feels so good after you've completed it. Like, I remember my first party that I ever did by myself. I was so nervous, but like, I did it anyways. And while I was there, I was like, this is so fun. Like, why was I nervous? For 5 days before I had to do this thing, every day I was like, okay, 5 days until this thing, 4 days until this thing, 3 days until this thing, 3 hours, oh my God. And then once I was there, I was like, this is freaking awesome. Why did I waste 5 days of my life like throwing up every other hour? This is great. The first time I put up a recording of myself, because live did not exist. First time I did that, I recorded myself saying like whatever I needed to say about hair, skin, nails. I recorded it like 15 times before I finally was like, oh my God, I can't. I'm going to keep doing this over and over and over again. I'm just going to freaking post it. And I did, and it was fine. I didn't die. Nobody else died. And people were interested in hair, skin, nails. Did I stumble over my words? I talked like really quietly, and I was like nervous. But I did it. The first time I went live was literally 4 years ago today. 4 or 3. Whatever, I'm awful at math. It was 2016. Somebody help me. But yeah, it was literally today in 2016 was my first live that I ever did. And I remember I was like so nervous. I drove like 45 minutes away from my house to the mall parking lot, and I did it in the mall parking lot in my car. But I listened to it and I'm like, this is not bad. Like, I did not do a bad job at that. Like, I've grown a lot since then, but why was I nervous? It was just my story. But do the things that make you scared, because like fear is just, it's irrelevant. It's fleeting. Like, you control your life. You control what you do. All right, I'm going to shut up now. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Mute myself. Okay, because everybody can hear me. Oh my God. Thank you, Stephanie. That was freaking awesome. I don't know how I'm going to even compete with that, but it's not a competition. We're all bringing something different to the table. That's why I'm so excited to be able to just come on and share a little bit about myself. I don't know why today, I'll be honest, I was a little nervous about this one. You know, we all get in our head sometimes, right? It doesn't matter how long you've been in the business or, you know, if you just jumped in, we all go through times. Okay. So again, guys, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Rachel Dodge. I have been in this business a little over 2 years. Um, Before I started this business, I was in the banking industry. I was a banker. I also was with another company called Beachbody. I knew I loved health. So that's really why I kind of joined the Beachbody was, you know, I loved the health. I didn't see the whole picture yet. So when this was presented to me by my friend, my upline, Lana, she's on here right now. I remember her saying, "Hey girl, oh my God, I have this crazy business that you got to check out." And before she could even stop, I'm like, no. And like I cut her straight off. I'm like, this isn't happening. I don't want anything to do with any of your stuff and your products. No. I got my health. I'm working out. I am, eating healthy, and that's all I needed. And then I went back to my everyday 9-to-5 job that I was miserable at. Okay. Now I'm not telling you that every 9-to-5 job is miserable, but I was not happy. I have 2 kids. They're 3 and 11. And, guys, I always knew that I wanted to do something more and have something more. I just never really believed that I could, have your cake and eat it too. I always believed, I didn't go to college. I've been on my own since I was 14 years old. I didn't have the greatest of childhoods, but, then again, it wasn't the worst. So, it wasn't like I was set up for, greatness, and I wasn't set up for failure. I think we all make our own lives. So after watching, so again, she had brought this business into my life, and I remember secretly watching her. And this is going to be funny, Stephanie, because guess how long I watched her for? 9 months. Isn't that so weird? 9 months. Stephanie, I just heard you say that. So I watched Alana. Stalked her secretly for 9 months, and I watched her because we grew up together. I knew her for 16 years, so I was intrigued a little bit about it. I'll be honest, and I'm going to get to something about this in a little bit that you guys are going to understand, which is she planted the seed. Okay, it wasn't, hey Rachel, going for the kill right then and there. It was planting a seed. And now I realize this as time goes on in my business. So again, 9 months. And what got me was watching her with her 2 kids every day, being able to share, her being at home, being able to go out, being able to spend time. But not only that, having the money to do it. And not just like I'm talking about like, hey, a few hundred. I'm talking about 10,000. I mean, this woman has built her own home. She just purchased her own home and is creating a $250,000 home as a single mom. So, obviously, this was something that was like, okay, I've got to get into this. So I remember saying, yes, let's do this. I'm ready to go. Let's try this. And, I jumped into the business with her. Well, you guys, like anybody, I, wasn't, how would I say, I pushed back. I pushed back quite a bit. We all want something. We all want a change. We all want to have more. We all want the perk, right? Without the price, okay? And I love that saying, perk versus price. We all want to have this luxurious life. We all want to have, be able to do the things we want to do and pay off debt and go and, stay home or not stay home or just have choices. But what are you willing to do to get there? So when this is kind of how I'm going to show you a little bit how my journey kind of went, because it wasn't all, cupcakes and rainbows. All right. I am very stubborn. And if I could tell you guys anything right now, you got to not be stubborn. You got to get out of your own head, and you have to realize that, you know, you have to be willing to do something different and make a change in order to get a change, okay? So, yeah, I pushed back for a while when it came to, you know, she had told me, you know, you got to do these Zooms. I want you to plug into Zooms. I want you to plug into events. I want you to plug into, I mean, there's multiple things that, you know, that come into this business, right? We're not just going to jump in and expect everybody, here we go, we're going to be millionaires right away, though that would be nice, okay? So it took me 6 months to go Ruby. It took me a year to go Diamond. Took me a year and 3 months to go Double Diamond, and I sat at Double Diamond. I lost my rank that first month I went Double Diamond. I lost my rank for 6 months, okay? Just letting you guys know this, because I wanted to open up and let you guys know that we are people. We are humans. We make, you know, this is part of your journey, is what I want to say. Is if I would have given up when those things had happened, I wouldn't be where I am today. So you've got to take it as it comes. And now looking back, I understand that I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready for it. And that is why this, you know, manifesting your success is where it comes into play, okay? Because you cannot grow your paycheck if you don't grow your mind. So I'm going to talk about a few, you know, important things, you know, that I have learned along the way, that I have been graciously given by a lot of very knowledgeable people, and just very happy to have that type of support. And guys, I did write some jots down. I am a red and I am a yellow. I am not a green. So I am super proud of myself for making little lists. And I didn't want to go squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. So we'll see how well I get to stay on track here. Okay, so number one, guys, events. Events. I'm going to tell you just a quick little story about when I joined. I remember I joined in, I believe it was in May. And Alana came to me and said, Rachel, we have a green carpet event. It's in July. You got to get to it. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm all for events. Awesome. Yeah, it's in Florida. By the way, guys, I live in New York and Alana lives in Florida. So this is the other thing. I did not use that as an excuse for me not to work my business, okay? I didn't have her here physically with me. So you utilize the things that you do have, okay? You cannot wait for somebody else to tell you what to do all the time. Sometimes you have to take it upon yourself to do things for yourself. So yes, believe me, she was leader upon leader. She was amazing with the information she gave me, but no, she was not here making me go to events and parties and, you know, do my steps to success and message people. You know, she gave me the tools I needed to do, but guess who had to do that? Myself. All right. So I remember her saying, Rachel, you need to get to this event. And I'm like, I don't know how the hell I'm going to do this. What do you do what do you do when something like that happens? You start making excuses. You start thinking about all the things that you can't do and all the things that you're not going to be able to do, and the reasons why you're not going to be able to do them, instead of just stopping and saying, no, I'm going to do this. I am going to do this. And this is when manifestation happens in your life. This is when journaling happens in your life. This is when you're going to sit down and you're going to say to yourself, no, I'm going to be at this event. Thank you, God, for giving me the way to get here. Okay. I had no idea how I was getting there, but I bought that green carpet ticket. And let me tell you, I drove 24 hours down straight, stayed the night there. Okay. Went to the conference and drove 24 hours straight back to make it to my job on Monday. And I have not missed an event since. And you guys, it hasn't been easy every time. Like, there hasn't been some, you know, red carpet that's opened up to me saying, come on, Rachel, you know, if you want something in life, like, you have to put the work in to get it. Okay. So let me just come on here. So yes, I love when she was talking about certain things that you guys need to be doing that are, for me, they're non-negotiables. These are the things, yes, you guys, steps to success, obviously. These are the things we do, but you need to be plugging in to your, show me the money call. You need to be plugging into our Sunday family call. You need to be plugging into, yes, Harley, go ahead. You need to be plugging into all and any Zooms that you can possibly get to. And self-development is just as important as talking about the compensation plan, okay? And like, I can't express to you enough how much this goes with this. Because if you don't believe that you can do this, it doesn't matter how many times you guys sit there and write down or message people or whatever. It doesn't matter. If you don't believe in yourself and your mind's not right, you're going to be spinning in circles. So this is what happened to me, okay? My first year of the business, I had all of the right moves in regards to, I'm a salesman, okay? I can sell anything to anybody. But it's not about that, okay? It's about building relationships and connecting with people. And why is anybody going to follow you if you don't believe in yourself? If you don't put value to yourself, why is anybody going to put value to you, right? So you have to make sure that you are fixing this and growing this at the same time. So yeah, get your mind right. That is the biggest thing for me. Making temporary sacrifices. Okay, this is the big one for me, guys. In the beginning, when working this business, I worked full time with my job, okay? We all have lives. Every single person has a life. Whether you have kids, whether you have dogs, whether you have multiple jobs, whether you have overnight jobs, whether you stay at home mom and you have daycare, whether you are full half-time, part-time, whatever it may be, we all have lives. We join this business not because we have all this time and not because we have all this money. We join, if some people do, but most of us join this because we don't, okay? And how are we going to get that? By making a change, by making those temporary sacrifices. And remember, guys, especially if you're in the beginning of this business and you need to be building your foundation, there are going to be temporary sacrifices. And man, I pushed with Alana so hard when it came to making time for these little teeny things like the calls and the Zooms and the journaling. Because like Stephanie was talking about, you guys, journaling has changed my life. Journaling and writing down and manifesting, and just try it, okay? Try sitting there at nighttime and writing to your future self or writing to tomorrow, and I love, for me, it's God, thanking God for the things that I have. Because guys, it's so funny. I manifested an accountability partner that I've been looking for that just popped in. And it's great because you can never have enough, There are certain places in which I would say I am not as strong at that other people can help bring to the table as well. So let's see what else I have here, because I have so many different things and I don't want to go over. I have definitely the same thing as make sure if you guys don't read, listen to audios, listen to audibles, watch videos. YouTube is your biggest thing. YouTube is like any and all things possible are on YouTube. All right. Don't wait for somebody to hand you a manual and say, here you go. Like you can take it upon yourself to ask questions. That is like the biggest thing. Let's see. Understand it's your journey. It's your journey, guys, not anybody else's. I love that Stephanie came on here and could talk about that she's been in this business, what is it, 6 years? 6 years now, okay? Never once did you hear her complain. Not once. It was being grateful. She had people on her team surpass, but she was grateful for them doing that. She was so excited. We need to be celebrating each other's triumphs instead of being jealous instead of comparing, instead of getting angry and upset and wondering, why not me? How come I'm not here? How come this? How come that? Because when your mind is in that spot, you're going nowhere but there. And the reason she's going and kept going and keeps going is because of her mind and her growing her mind. So as soon as you guys start realizing that it is all about your mental and manifesting what you want and your spiritual, and it's literally, that is the biggest part for me in this business. Everything else can be taught. Okay, we can teach you how to message. We can teach you how to do steps to success. We can teach you how to, do all these little things, but we can't teach you how to grow your mind. We can give you the tools to do that. We just, that's something you have to be willing to do. Be intentional and consistent. Those are two words that, God, I had such a hard time with. Intentional and consistent. Because we can take a day and turn it into a week and still feel like you got nothing done. Sit down and be intentional with what you're doing. Right? I want you guys, and you try this, make an accountability business journal. Like you're making an account, like you're making a food journal, and you are writing down what you're eating. I want you all to write down what you're physically doing for your business every day. But be real. You can lie to everybody else, but you can't lie to yourself, okay? So when you're asking yourself, why am I not further along, you're going to know. Okay, and I like, again, when Stephanie touched base on this point too, and Alana, I've said this before. If you want to be Ruby, if you're going for Ruby, if you're going for Emerald, if you're going for Triple, you need to start thinking about what those people are doing every single day. So start implementing those things. If you don't know, then ask. It never hurts to ask. Obviously, you don't want to, there's no dumb question. That's how I feel. Like, I'd rather have somebody ask me 1,000 times and not ask at all. All you're trying to do is be better than you were yesterday. All right. So this is another good saying. Excellence is the result of relentless consistency. Consistency compounds. The things that you think that you are very minute, I promise you, over a long period of time are going to end up being what's going to make you successful. Those small things that you don't think about every day, those things are what's going to make you successful in this business. Okay, so to put down on paper what you're going to achieve that day. I like this. Put down on paper in the mornings. I always am grateful. When I wake up in the morning, I started this. Being grateful for the things that I have. Write down everything you're grateful for as soon as you wake up in the morning. Because that is going to literally open your mind to realize what's important and what's not important. And, for me, that has set my mind right. What you do in the morning, take time to meditate, take time to manifest the rest of your day. How is your day going to go? If you're in a shitty mood and you are not feeling up to par, I don't suggest you go message people. Okay, you need to go take some time to get your mind right and then go back into that, because all you're going to be doing is putting that negative, at whatever field out there. And I love this too. We don't message people for a response. We message them to plant seeds. Again, this goes back to Alana. Okay, guys, Alana didn't message me. I mean, I'm sure she hoped deep inside that I would have just been like, yeah, let's go. She messaged me to plant that seed, because this is what happens. We message people. It's okay if they don't respond to us, because they're going to see you and they're going to go into your page and they're going to start looking at you and they're going to relate to you. How are they relating to you? Remember that, guys. How are you portraying yourself? Okay. Being excited about things. Excitement is huge. It's contagious. What else do I have here? Building relationships. they're not numbers. Don't think of this as customers and distributors, guys. When I did that first year into this business and I thought about just, how many customers can I get? How many distributors can I get? How many of this? How many of that? How many of this? How many of that? And it didn't work for me. It didn't work for me because I wasn't building relationships. This last year, I have manifested every individual that has joined my business in the last 6 months. And I have manifested the type of individual that I want to be a part of this business and this journey with me. Okay, you guys, we are changing lives every single day, whether you feel like it or whether you don't, whether you're just joining and just getting the tip of the iceberg right now, guys. You are going to change somebody's life just by talking to them about this. You have to know that we have something so special to offer people, but you have to put value in yourself before somebody can put value in you. Okay, so and just sharing the opportunity, guys. That's my biggest, my biggest suggestions. That's pretty much all I had for tonight, guys. I'm so glad. I'm gonna unmute you here, Stephanie, too, or unless you can unmute yourself. I'm so glad that you guys jumped on tonight and that I was able to, collaborate with Stephanie today. I hope you guys, took some stuff away from this and really realized that, manifesting and self-development is such a huge part of your business. And I will share with you guys, there is a great self-development page that has Joel Dunn, Chad Neller, and who's I can't remember who the other guy is.
Tay Young.
Tay Young. It's what is it? Ted Maxwell? Is that what his name? Who are they doing right now?
Oh my gosh, no, but I'm drawing a blank.
John Maxwell. Incredible, guys. He has this incredible leadership, this page that talks about just growing yourself as a leader, because in this business, guys, we start off with ourselves, right? We start off wanting something for ourselves. But what you don't understand is that you're becoming so much more. You are now a leader. Who's going to follow you unless you put value, unless you care about what you're doing? You need to follow, you need to make those choices, and you need to start doing those things and lead by example if you want anybody else to lead with you and follow with you. So yeah, that's all I have for tonight. So thank you guys for coming on.
Guys, remember that you already are something special. You already have so much value within you. You don't need to be like anybody other than you and who you truly are. I know it's really easy to look left and to look right and to compare yourself to other people and other leaders. I mean, there's different people that get highlighted all the time that we have access to watching them on social media. I think that's a good thing. And I also think it can be a bad thing if we obsess over it and we try to make ourselves into a carbon copy of somebody else. When we do that, you are taking away your God-given gifts, your talents, and the things that make you special and you an individual. And those are the things that are going to make other people want to follow you, want to join you, and want to do this with you. So don't cover up who you are to try to be somebody that you're not. Be true to who you are, and just know that you already have every single thing that you need in order to be an ambassador diamond. It's just a matter of working on your belief. And please know that your chart is going to look different year after year after year. It ebbs and it flows. People are going to come into your organization, bless and release, because not everybody is meant to stay, but everything happens for a reason. My triple chart has looked different 5 different times, but it is all a part of the journey. I'm grateful to be on it. The people that I meet every single day are a blessing. They teach me something. Sometimes it takes a lot longer for me to learn the lesson, but you know what I'm saying. Don't get fixated on trying to drag the same people with you when maybe they're not meant to come along. You have to always be wanting new blood in. Give love to the people who you already have in your organization, including your customers, including your potentials. Give those people love. But if it's not meant for them long term like it is for you, then love them on the way out like you love them on the way in, and just know that the right people are coming to build that perfect organization, to build that perfect chart, to build that perfect dream life for you and for you to help them build their perfect dream life. Don't get fixated on the people who aren't doing the things that you want them to do, because you're just going to waste their time and you're going to try to drag them away from the dreams that God and the universe has for them. Not everybody's like big, huge dream life is going to be a part of it works, and that's okay. But you're going to hold yourself back, and you're going to hold another person back by trying to carry dead weight and drag dead weight. If it's not meant for you, lessen the grip. Because think about it, like if you hold your hand in a fist really, really hard, your nails are going to dig into your palm and it's going to hurt and it's going to be uncomfortable. When you let go, that pain goes away. It's going to feel better. Let open your hands and let people come to you who are meant to come to you, and go out there and find people as well. You got to be actively looking, but don't be dragging people that don't want it, you know? Don't fixate on that. It's going to be okay. Love your organization exactly as it is right now, today, and just know that it's going to continue to get better. It's going to continue to grow. You're going to be the leader that you dream of becoming. Don't question yourself. Don't sit there and not do the work because you're so scared that you're going to do it wrong. Just do it. Learn the lessons, and don't do that stop, go. Just go. Just go and keep going, and do not stop.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. Again, I love that. You guys have an awesome night. Thank you again. Stephanie, it was awesome until we meet again, and I can't wait to do this again. So, all right, guys.
Bye.
I can stop this recording. I got it. All right.